Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Thalia, and excuse the voice, it's starting to come back a little bit. I'm kind of dealing with a cold, but in today's video, we're going to talk about the whole Rich Lux and Luscious Massacre foolery that went down a few days ago. And I guess continuously it's still unraveling or whatever. And as a subscriber, I feel like I need to put my 2 cents into it because I actually subscribe to both of them. And I'm just going to let you know how I feel, my side of things. And yeah, if you're into makeup, we're not going to do any makeup today. The look that I'm rocking today, I will leave down in the description box what I'm wearing if you're interested in copying any of the things that I am using. I don't think I'm going to do a tutorial on this look, but I'm going to do something along the lines using chocolate colors. So if you're into the makeup but not here for the chisme or the commentary, by all means, I'll catch you in the next one. But in today's video, I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. I'm going to give you my opinion because I feel like they need to hear from the adults. So, if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and opinion, by all means, stay tuned. And before you get all cozy, for those who are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. There is a subscribe button that is located right over here. By all means, click that. And alongside of it is the notification bell. You want to click that too, so you don't miss another video from your girl. So go ahead. They're right here. Click it. Woo! All right. So we may have to pause a few times here because I got this cough that is like, please forgive me for the Darth Vader voice and the raspy and crackling and coughing. So I apologize in advance. So before we get into everything, I just want to state that one of the reasons why I'm making this video is because, one, I will subscribe to both of these two, and also, two, I feel like they need to hear, if they come across this video, they need to hear an adult side of things, because I feel like with those who have made videos, they're either picking a side, they're either going with Rich or they're going with Luscious, and no one is really like pointing out the fact that the reason why they're in this whole situation is because of Snider. I used to be a subscriber of his, and when he came across like problematic, like always felt like he's always ready to gun for somebody, so I had to unsubscribe to him. It was like, he wasn't my cup of tea anymore, so I let that go. But no one has really paid attention to the fact that the reason why these two are in the state that they're in right now is because of Snider that Rich went to bat for. So I hope everybody realizes it. He's the one that's causing he is the one that has caused the ruckus, and he's the one that's not really saying much now. Twitter is one thing. Not everybody's on Twitter to see what you're saying, what you're doing, who you're defending. So the same way you got on camera calling out Luscious, it should be the same way you should have went back on camera defending your boy because your boy came defending for you. But let's kind of backtrack to how we got here. So this all started out, if I can find the tweets, I'll put it up here. But this technically all started out with Rich Lux putting out a tweet about James Charles, reality, I don't know, game show, whatever he's doing, right? He was talking about the possible judges that could be up there. And in that tweet, he was talking about the judges could be Manny Mooch, Laura Lee, and so forth and so forth. So Manny's dad was offended by that. He was defending his son, like, Rich, I'm kind of tired of you doing, I'm just, paraphrasing. I'm kind of tired of this whole, bullying or whatever. And, Rich responded to that as far as like, how the tweet was going is he was addressing his audience and saying that Manny's father had the right to having his opinion, but because his son is out, he's a public figure or whatever, he's going to be put up for scrutiny or whatever. People are going to have their opinions about him, so forth and so forth, whatever the case is, right? Which wasn't a horrible response because I can understand both ends. So as a parent, I wish a person would come to them. I don't care what it's about. You come for my kids, I'm coming for you. Point blank, period. I can't put that any other way. And for those who are like, oh, if it was my kid, I wouldn't say anything. Yeah, right. Until your kid is old enough to deal with people always, calling them outside their name or always making them feel some type of way, you don't know what you would do. And that's being all the way honest. So when people are just like, oh, you know, I would never, I wouldn't allow my parent to do anything. If you are not a parent, or if your child has never been put in a position where you felt the need to defend them, then I need you to stand down because you don't know how you would respond. Also, too, like, and I feel like in that instance, I don't think that he responded in a way to where, you know, this ever should have even been an issue. He owned up to, okay, you know, I get what you're saying, but also too, your son is in the limelight. Gossip channels, what's the name of these things? Not gossip channels, but blogs or whatever that speak on, you know, celebrity gossip and stuff like that. So, you know, it's bound to happen. With that being said, I think Rich answered the tweet appropriately, and then Nick Snider decides to go in and put his 2 cents in it. And I'll put his tweet up here somewhere. I'm not looking for it right now because I'm like on a roll. I'm just feeling it right now. So, you know, basically he was saying like, you know, who are you to say something, a reformed homophobe? So even I was like, what? Like, who says that? Yes, this man, he comes from a Latino background, and even Latino, Black, any, you know, non-American, even American Christians that have strong values about homosexuality have a struggle with the homosexual world, period. And he owned up to it. Him and his son talked about it. It was a struggle for him being a Latino man, not knowing how to deal with it, but it took some growth. It took some education to get him to where he is right now. And for Nick Snider to kind of question, quote unquote, you know, that he's a reformed or whatever, it was like so totally unnecessary, because who asked you to jump in it? Like, I get you want to defend your friend. I've always been the type of person, the type of friend to always jump in. Like, if I knew my friends were getting into something, I was that friend that was like, yo, what time? What we doing? Where we going? You ready? I've always been that, but I always let my friend lead. Like, what is it that you need for me to do? Where do you want me to be? How do you want to place me in the situation? Because I got your back. I mean, why did he have to insert himself in there? So with him starting that mess, Manny MUA came to his father's defense, to where Luscious came to Manny's defense, was like, listen, don't even entertain a lack of a better, you know, I'm paraphrasing all of this, and I'll leave tweets up here, whatever, so you can read it or reference it on your own. So basically saying, hey, don't pay them no mind or whatever, this is what they want you to do, X, Y, and Z, so forth and so forth. So this is where we are now. Nick Snider decides to make a video. It's called I Really Messed Up. So, and he calls out Luscious Massacr about being holier than thou, and stopped acting like, you know, you haven't been on the scene where, you know, you're commenting on people, or you're bullying, or whatever the case is, or you're bullying or whatever. So let's define bullying, because I'm gonna be honest, being a person who is older and have I didn't grow up with social media. Bullying has always been a thing before my time, but it was never used as loosely as it is in this era. Everybody's being bullied. Everybody has anxiety, and I'm just keeping it all the way a buck. I'm like, these reason why these kids can't survive and can't handle nothing. One, they can never take ownership of whenever they do something stupid, and they might get ridiculed behind it or get commented on. It's always being reverted to someone picking on them. Someone's doing something and don't want to take ownership for it and want to call it bullying. I'm not saying the instance in this situation, I'll get to it, but I'm just using that for an example. Or as far as anxiety, oh, I can't cope because I'm anxious. Dear God, whoever taught these kids the word anxious, teach them something else, because it's like we're having these kids just their crutch is anxiety. Okay, so if that's the case, then how are we teaching them how to cope with anxiety? You see what I'm saying? But nonetheless, so he goes on, he calls out Luscious Massacr, right? So then that was that. So then Luscious decides to put out a video saying that Nick Snider is my bully. I personally didn't expect for him to do that, I didn't expect for it to get as big as it did. Let's start there. People need to define the word bully. Bullying is not just a physical thing. if you intimidate a person, if a person is scared, whether we believe it or not, whether we feel like people are embellishing or whatever, if a person is clearly saying, hey, I am scared to do X, Y, and Z because of these group of people, that's a form of intimidation. Look it up in the dictionary before you, all of you. And I wouldn't just say it was just Nick. All his little daggone friends were saying, oh, well, bullying this, that's not bullying. Who are you to sit here and say how you're making another person feel? Okay, granted, people have a whole different way of perceiving things. Like, I had this conversation recently when it came down to me. I am naturally loud. I talk with my hands. I am very assertive when I'm trying to get my point across. Do I mean anything by it? Like, does that automatically mean, like, you know, I have an issue with you? No, that's just how I come across. That's how I speak. That's how I talk. Like, Lord, meet my mother. My mom is mad loud. She speaks in stereo, but that's how she talks. That's not like, it's not like, you know, she's going off the deep end. When I'm passionate about something, I might do one of these, but that's just it. You know, it doesn't mean that, you know, there's any violence or whatever the case is. And if I'm making someone feel some type of way, I need for people to tell me. I'm not going to automatically assume I offended you, but nonetheless, you know, he puts a lot of stuff out there to why he feels like Nick is his bully. He stated that, you know, how Nick Snider questioned his motives when it came down to, you know, being friends with Rich. Him and Rich have been friends for over 10 years. And I figured that I don't know why Nick, again, has inserted himself in a friendship that has been 10 years strong and why he feels like he has a say in it at all. Now, if Nick has been aggressively saying things to him, he needs to own that. And why does he feel the need to approach Luscious based on whatever Rich has said to him? But not one time in that video, that first video that Luscious did he speak on Rich Lux in a negative light. Not at all. He just said what Nick was doing, how Nick was bothering him, and he would like for him to stop. And he was about to defend himself, like, you know, you're going to come with it, because I'm here for it. I'm here to defend myself, rightfully so. And he's like, you know, questioning Nick, like, if you're sitting here wondering, like, what my motives were or whatever, what are your motives? Why are you in Houston? Why are you doing so many collaboration videos? Why are you this? Why are you that? Because now you look like the clout chaser, which is true. I mean, they both kind of, when Luscious was in Rich's videos, you can tell there was a genuine vibe. You could tell they had been friends for a long time. I loved their dynamic together because it just appeared to be genuine. Like, it wasn't forced. And he kind of pulled the fun out of Rich. Not that Rich wasn't fun by himself, but I feel like they were a powerful dynamic together. They brought the funny. Like, I love them two together. Now, with him and Nick, I'm just, like, you know, I feel like there was a replacement. Like, you replace one for the other, and the other one's not as funny. He's more of, like, I don't know, like a Debbie Downer. Like, you have, like, Tigger and you have Eeyore. That's how Nick and Rich Luck look together. It's like, but you gotta ask, like, okay, hold on, you know, I can understand where Luscious is coming from. Like, what are you doing that's any different than what I was doing? He was my actual friend, so if you're calling me a clout chaser, what are you? In Rich's video, You Broke My Heart, I feel like this is where it started to spiral. He should never came out with this video. I feel like this is his downfall. This is why stuff started to come out of the woodworks, because he decided to do the most. So he comes out with this video talking about Luscious was never a good friend, how Nick and Dustin Daly were a better friend to him that Luscious has been in the last 10 years. And it was like, why? He wasn't even talking to you. He was talking to your boy. So why couldn't Nick speak for himself? Why did you feel the need to insert yourself? You guys are no longer talking. We all knew that. Like, no one had to come out with a video, even though that Luscious addressed this at one of her lives I don't know, a few months ago to why you guys kind of pulled back from doing videos with each other. You never spoke on it, at least not on video. And so it was like, okay, we kind of knew there was something going on, but why did you feel the need to say something right now when the video wasn't even addressed to you? And even in that video that Luscious did, she didn't even speak negatively about you. She even stated, like, you were the one with the talent. You were the one that is helping these fools get views, get subscribers. So she was giving you mad credit for you to come and talk smack. And how you did it was so like, and it's a thing because you kids don't understand what loyalty is, what friendship is. Friendship, that's one thing I definitely wanted to mention. The word friendship around this whole YouTube platform, y'all use it loosely. Y'all speak on the phone one time and y'all are BFFs. Friends actually put time in. It's like a relationship. The first time you meet a person, you don't automatically say, they're my boyfriend, they're my girlfriend. Yeah, you don't go from saying hi to now, you're my fiance or let's go to the chapel. Like, all that takes time. Like, there's growth. You being chummy with a person for 2 months that's not friendship. I'm so sorry. So I personally had a hard time just grasping why you felt the need to make a video, because all you did was cause damage to yourself. So, I'm not really, like, I'm never in the business to kind of tell someone how they feel or how they cry or whatever the case is. But I just want you to look back at your own video and critique yourself. Do you feel like in that video when you were talking about how broken your heart was, how you would, how it appeared like you were really trying to force someone to feel sorry for you? Like, just look back at it. I'm not gonna say no more about it because I'm not trying to tell, people or tell anybody how they came across, and he really could be feeling hurt, and he might be, but that was just, it just looked so fraudulent, you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't look genuine. And again, like, no one asked you to come up and do a video. That was for Nick to do if he wanted to respond, but I get it, you wanted to defend your friend. I personally believe that there should have been some form of loyalty. If there were so many things that you needed to say to him, and if you feel like it was going too far with Nick saying, because they were both wrong. You think about it, everybody was wrong in the situation. Nick should have never opened up his mouth. Luscious, she felt the need to defend herself, but she wasn't even talking to you, but she felt the need to say something to Nick. Like, if you got this mouth, you want to get on the platform, you want to do X, Y, and Z, I'm about to pull your card, I'm about to tell you about yourself too. So she felt the need to do what she needed to do. But since you are the middle person in this situation, it could have been taken offline. But because you talk about loyalty, regardless, whether you're friends for a month, 2 months, 10 years, 30 years, whatever you guys go through, nobody needs to know. Like, no one. And how you were describing the friendship, it just kind of went one way. The only thing that I thought that was real foul of you, really, one, you could be hurt all you want to, whatever, but you just made it seem as if Luscious was a charity case to you. Oh, I took you in when you were at the bottom and blah, 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 blah. I could have sworn like there were videos in the past that you made that you were sleeping on your mother's floor, you were doing stuff. Like, don't do that. Like, don't feel the need to play dirty. Oh, like you just, picked him up off the corner, but let me clean you up and let me get you together. Let me show you how to live. Like, why do that? Of course, I didn't know who Luscious was until you featured her on your channel. But for you to just feel like you rescued her, I was like, come on now. Like, you really are. That was horrible. You didn't have to do that. You just didn't. And I feel like that was childish and petty on you. So not everything that you say about being friends is like null and void. You really put in information that wasn't necessary. And you actually come off to be the one that seems to be jealous because Luscious decided to move on with her life. According to her, she told you, listen, I need to do what I need to do. I want to preserve our friendship. I want to, you know, make sure that we're good and we're going to stop doing stuff together. I don't want to do anything else with you. I feel like that's a noble thing to do. Like, why was that bothersome? So I don't understand the need of the video to begin with. I just feel like you just inserted foot into mouth and now you can't get yourself out of it. And even Dustin Daly said in his video that, like, okay, you know, he had not, you know, kind of acknowledged the stuff that you said, but also wanted to mention, like, y'all had a falling out and you were a jerk to him. So what Luscious is saying is not far-fetched. If Dustin clearly said, hey, this dude was mean to me too. Luscious decides to respond to the foolery. And this is where I feel like he went wrong. Like, I understand that there's pain in the midst of all of it. But children, you guys decided to air out all your business. Now for all of us to know, now you have caused some damage into your futures because you guys didn't want to take stuff offline. When Luscious came out with, you know, Rich Lux doesn't have a heart, you could definitely see the hurt that he was experiencing. Like, he couldn't believe that Rich had kind of put him out there like that. And I get it. But that didn't give her the right to go and say all the things that she said. Now, you exposed Rich for being a racist. And this is when I'm going to look at you sideways, Luscious. You put out a old text message about what Rich Lux has said. I'm not going to even find it, look for it, or whatever. What I do know about the Hispanic community, being a part of it myself, the N-word is used often. I've said how I felt about this word on numerous occasions. When I was in Petty Paige's live stream the other day, someone was like, you know, Latinos can say it, but Afro-Latinos can say it. Nobody should be saying it. The N-word shouldn't be used by anyone, including Black people, period. There's so much blood and pain behind that one word that there's no embracing it. There's no taking it back. Like, respect that people lost their lives because they were being spoken to that way and they were looked negatively that way behind that one word. Have some dignity for yourself to be like, I'm not going to use it. I don't want it. But you guys feel like it's okay, or there's a certain group that should use it. Nobody should be using it. Point blank, period. The end. Whether right, wrong, or indifferent, the N-word has been used heavily in the Black and brown community. Now, is it far-fetched that Rich could have said it just because that's how he grew up? Yeah, but this is the problem that I have with the Latinos that get caught saying it, right? But why not just stop tippy-toeing around? And I understand that people have contracts and have sponsorships and stuff like this, but then when you're kind of like pussyfooting the whole situation, you look worse. Just come out and say, hey, I grew up, like he said, I grew up in the hood, but you could just tell, like, he just wasn't comfortable saying it. You grew up in the hood. This is how we all spoke. I didn't think nothing of it then. I clearly don't think nothing of it now, because this is the thing that it has me pissed off, that everybody's kind of like, oh, he said it back in 2015. Did he? Okay, the text said that. But then he also had a video not too long ago, about 2 months ago, that came out in the apartment that he's in now. He lives there now. And so you know that video was recent. So how does he still get a pass? Like, I don't know. And the hypocrisy is mad heavy in this whole YouTube community. It's just like everybody wants to hold certain people accountable for doing stuff. But then when the roles are reversed, it's just like, accountability? Like, what's that? And it just tickles me, that's all. Because I'm just like, listen, if you complain about one thing that someone says to you, and you want everybody to be like, oh, let's cancel Jackie, let's cancel Juvie's place, let's cancel, I'll be like, yo, shut your pie hole. Because you just can't cancel one folk for doing something when you literally are doing the same thing, or the person that you're close to is doing the same thing, and you're just like, listen, it was back in 2015 and we're not gonna worry about it. Like, yeah, Now I'm side-eyeing you because I don't know like where your headspace is because you're weird. For the drama channels, commentary channels, whatever the case is, right? You talk about people's lives, which is not, to me, is not a big issue. I don't find no harm in it, but however way you decide to do it. Okay? If you get on YouTube, this is self-included, I get up here, I'm opening myself up for scrutiny. But I'm also a different breed. I know that there's potential. Hell, I've already experienced a little bit of that. There's potential for someone to say something dumb to me. Either I'm going to fold or I'm going to deal with it. Okay? But I'm also from a generation that is like, listen, you typing up stuff really isn't doing nothing for my spirit. What you can do, either you can hit me up and we can talk about it, or how about I'm just going to ignore it altogether. Like, we're not even going to do this. Because this generation, and y'all don't like to be talked about, but this is what y'all do. This generation likes to do a bunch of this. Let me just type it up and let me tell you how I feel. But then when you get that clap back, everybody folds and freezes and like, oh, I can't believe you came at me that way. How do you want people to respond? But when it comes down to Luscious putting this information out there, it's like, okay, why now? Why did you feel like it was appropriate for you to put that information out now? I get it that, you know, he pissed you off. But when you say that you were scared, I don't know about that. I don't know about being scared of someone that you've been friends with for 10 years. Let me tell you something. I am not going to be friends with anybody that I fear. I don't understand how that dynamic works. You're not going to punk me into being your friend. So if this text was to you or if it was sent to somebody else, now that you've held it for damn near 5 years, continue to hold it. There was no need to expose it. And that's just me being honest. But now that it's out there, Rich, your apology video was basura on the highest level of trash. Like, listen, if you're not, I'm a strong believer. If you are not sorry for something, don't apologize. Because with him using the N-word, you not apologizing does nothing. Like, I'm not going to lose no sleep behind it. And this is why. I don't know you for one. You don't impact my life in no way. In order for me to not support you, all I gotta do is click the unsubscribe button and give you no more of my time. That's it. You're more upset about someone bringing you down because it all revolved around you. You don't care how you affected the people who were hurt by that word. You are more so like, oh my God, people are trying to come for me. People are jealous. People want me for my money. I'm a cash cow to them. Oh my God. Woe is you. I'm like, I'm waiting for something. Like, who are you apologizing to? And if you have people of color who are your friends and don't say nothing to you about how foul you were, it took Ashley Kyle, who is a non-person of color, to tell you, hey, you gotta address it. And then you said in your video, people that care about me were the ones that told me that I need to speak forward. So someone had to tell you that you were foul? Like, I don't care at this point. Because now none of us who were subscribed to you, who are sketchy about, you know, staying on board, if we have enough sense, we're like, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and check out now. Like, no worry. Keep your apologies to yourself. We're done. We no longer, I'm not your subscriber. Those who forgive you are non-people of color. And that's who you look at. That's the audience that you want. Let's keep it a buck. That's the audience that you want. But nonetheless, I feel like Luscious should have kept that information to herself. So now and then, from my understanding, there was a text message or a tweet that Luscious put out there too. Yeah, like, why? I'm not paying you guys no mind. But just know, every person in this situation was childish. All of this could have been handled a totally different way. And y'all decided to let the world know that y'all are both, like, immature on every level. 10 years is a long time to be connected to an individual. Say how you feel like adults. We do not, I repeat, we do not need to see it, but talk to each other. I hope you guys work that out however way. But anyway, let me know down in the comment section, guys, how you feel about the whole situation. What's your thoughts on it? Do you follow any of these people? And also, too, I think that, I don't know anything about Keemstar. have never watched any of his videos. I hear people talk about him, not always in the positive light. But from my understanding, Rich Lux is gonna be on a call, be on a video, be a topic or whatever on this dude's channel. And who's tuning in? I'm curious. And the reason why I'm curious to watch or whatever is because someone on Twitter put out a video of Keemstar, going in using the N-word. And it's just like, did you know about this, Rich? Like, you're going to a person who, maybe this is a rationale, that you're going to a person who has made the same mistake and you're asking for, how do I come from this? How do I, do better as a human being to not be this ignorant? I don't know. But let me know in the comment section what you think. Are you still subscribed? Are you still rooting for both people? Are you choosing a side? I'm not choosing a side. I feel like they're both. Again, yes, I might still be subscribed to Luscious because I just feel like her dynamic is different. And I'm going to allow her to redeem herself. As far as Rich, he became so arrogant. He's no longer the same person for me. Nothing to really gripe about. But anyway, if you like my commentary videos, please give this a thumbs up. I only chime in and give my opinion when I'm really passionate about something that I want to talk about. It comes very randomly. I don't feel the need to speak on everything. But I just felt because I was on the couch for 3-4 days watching this stuff unfold and being a subscriber, I needed them to hear how it personally bothered me. And as a woman of color, how it affected me. Not that I don't care what people say, but these two are like children to me. Like, y'all, fix it. Be better people all the way across the board. Fix your foolery. But anyway, if you like my commentary video, again, give it a thumbs up. If you want to connect with your girl on social media, you can find me on everything Thalia's Eye Candy. That's on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Mostly on Instagram and Twitter, but of course, if you want to check me out on Snapchat, I'll see it if you send me something. And if you want to follow my weight loss journey, which, by the way, just a little plug-in, I won't do another Fluffy Friday until not this week because I've been sick and very stagnant. I will post next week. Yes, next Friday. So, yeah, there's that. But if you want to follow my weight loss journey, you can connect with me on Beauty from the Inside Out 365. That's on my second IG page. And that is all, you guys, and I will catch you in the next. Bye. Llegó la mami que todo desespera, te